Indians are going to take on the team that right now has the best record in all of baseball. We're talking about the Minnesota Twins. They have been an absolute juggernaut in the first 2 months of this season. Can they keep it up? Well, it would be hard for any team to continue playing at the pace that these Minnesota Twins have been playing at. But what the Minnesota Twins have done is one big important thing, and that is boost their confidence level to an all-time high. This is still a relatively young ball club for the most part. They've been kind of a back-and-forth kind of club. 1 year good, 1 year not so hot. Well, you couldn't be any better than what Minnesota has been to this point. What that has really done is boost their self-esteem. And the other thing it's done, boy, has Minnesota built itself a cushion to withstand any kind of a slow period. The Twins have the best record in baseball. They are 40-18. They are running away with the American League's Central Division. No team in baseball has the kind of lead the Twins have. They're 11.5 games ahead of the Indians and the White Sox, as the Indians are 29-30. Corey Blazer is going to be our home plate umpire tonight. Laz Diaz will make the calls at first. Roberto Ortiz is the second base ump, and the crew chief is Jeff Nelson, and he will be our third base ump. I mentioned before, it's overcast. Really, there is no breeze whatsoever. The flags are not moving whatsoever, and so the ball's going to carry very well. It's warm. There's been humidity in the air throughout much of the day. And again, because we have no wind blowing in or whatnot, you put a good swing on it, and you're going to get rewarded here tonight in downtown Cleveland. On the hill for the Indians is going to be, in his second Major League season, Shane Bieber. The right-hander, 6'3", 200 pounds. Shane Bieber, now 24 years of age. This is his first game as a 24-year-old. Bieber, fastball, curve, slider, and changeup. And he'll face Max Kepler starting the game, the left-handed hitting right fielder. The line by Bieber and tonight's first pitch, and it's in there, strike, and we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. 73 degrees, our game time temp. Bieber works first base side of the rubber, feet close together in his delivery, and the next pitch is waved at, the count 0-2. Bieber faced Minnesota in a no decision back in March when these clubs met, and that was simply to get some work in out of the bullpen. He went 2 innings and gave up a run. This is his fourth career start against Minnesota. The 0-2, down and in, threw him a curveball, 1-2. In his career, Shane Bieber is 1-0 against Minnesota with a 4.58 ERA. Indians overload the right side of the infield. And the third baseman, Ramirez, playing like a shortstop up the middle. The outfield fairly deep and a bit toward right. Now the line by Bieber and the 1-2. And it just missed outside, 2-2. Oscar Mercado in left, Leonis Martin in center, Jordan Luplow in right. Carlos Santana at first, Jason Kipnis at second, Frankie Lindor at short, Jose Ramirez at third, and Roberto Perez behind the dish. Bieber into the motion, and now time called. Backing away at the last moment was Max Kepler. The left-handed slugging right fielder trying to break an 0-for-13 slide. Now the windup, and now the 2-2. Swing and a foul tip hung on to by Perez, and a strikeout on the curveball. So Max Kepler strikes out to start tonight's ball game, and that'll bring up Jorge Polanco. The one thing about Minnesota is there is nobody that you look at in their lineup and say, well, maybe if we don't let this guy beat you, we're in good shape. They are loaded 1 through 9, and that's why they are just such a juggernaut here in the early going. Everybody is hitting and hitting well, including this guy, Jorge Polanco. The shortstop swings and misses trying to come out of his shoes. Polanco, a switch hitter batting left-handed, is second in the American League batting race with a .338 batting mark. 9 homers, 30 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch, down and in, 1-1. Polanco is leading the American League in base hits, leading the American League in extra base hits. Now the windup by Bieber and the 1-1 pitch, and it bounces in, 2-1. Shane Bieber on the season, 4-2, 3.67 ERA. This is his 12th start. He has one complete game. It was that 5-hit shutout of Baltimore back in May. The pitch swung on, banged into right, base hit, and the American League's leader in base hits has added another with a 1-out single to right. Shane Bieber averages 6 innings per start, and he is averaging 11 strikeouts and 2 walks per 9 innings. Now, he has been hurt more so by the home run ball than a year ago. Last year, Shane Bieber, in 20 appearances with the Indians, gave up 13 homers. He has given up 13 homers already in 12 appearances this year. Now the right-handed hitting DH, Nelson Cruz, the veteran bomber, who became a Twin after leaving Seattle this winter. He looks at a pitch inside, a ball. Minnesota leads the American League in almost everything offensively. They lead the league in runs scored, 6 a game. They lead the league in team batting average, lead the league in homers, lead the league in doubles. Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch, 1-1. Minnesota won't run much, but why would you? Second fewest steals in the league, but with this offense, why take a chance on making it out on the bases? Cruz is played in the outfield deep in the other way toward right. Right-handed hitter, deep in the box, open stance, very erect. The pitch and a swing and a miss. Pitch in on his hands. Good fastball, and they count 1-2. Nelson Cruz batting .270, 7 homers, 22 RBIs. He was out 3 weeks. He injured that left wrist. And with hitters, he might be back, but that wrist is still not the way it would normally be. Now the set and the pitch to him, and before it's made, he steps away at the last moment. No score, first inning, Twins batting, 1 out, 1 on. Glad you could join us on a very pleasant Tuesday evening off the lakefront. Now the pitch, swing and a miss, chased one. Another good slider away, and Nelson Cruz is strikeout victim number 2, out number 2, and wouldn't you know it, Bieber getting strikeouts with his breaking ball. Struck out Kepler on a curve, struck out Cruz on a slider. And this year, the opposition is batting .183 against Shane Bieber's slider. Now Eddie Rosario, who always kills the Indians, and now this year he's added everybody else to that list. This guy's going to be here in Cleveland at the All-Star game in July. Left-handed hitting left fielder, a rarity in this day and age, hits out of a very close stance. The pitch to him, and it backs him off the plate, ball 1. Rosario batting .277, second in the league in homers, 17, second in the league in RBIs, 49. The Indians play him as a dead pull hitter to right, 3 on the infield, and the outfield deep and around toward right. Now the set, the throw to first, and back with a dive is Polanco. Minnesota as a team has 17 stolen bases, second fewest in the American League. Jose Ramirez has 3 fewer steals than the entire Twins team. No score, not much of a lead for Polanco at first. 2 down, there he goes. Pitch is taking a strike. Perez, good throw, tagged by Lindor, got him by plenty. That's again, why steal if you're Minnesota with your cleanup hitter at the plate?
WTAM 1100.
Well, the Indians are going to see a young man that they've never seen before. A lot of people haven't. It's only his second Major League start. He wasn't even on the Twins' 40-man roster when the year began. We're talking about left-hander Devin Smeltzer. What a great story he is. 23 years of age, 6'3", 185. Fastball, curve, slider, change. Does not throw hard. Frankie Lindor leads off batting right-handed, and Lindor takes ball one. It's high. In his first major league start, he pitched a beauty. And now trying to see if he can follow up that outing against a really good offensive club in Milwaukee. Here's the 1-0 pitch, up high, 2-0. Against the Brewers in his major league debut, he went 6 shutout innings of 3-hit baseball. Struck out 7, didn't walk a batter. Now the pitch, high again, 3-0. Frankie Lindor really struggling right-handed, batting 196. Batting 333 left-handed. Switch hitting shortstop, batting right-handed, obviously. No score, bottom of the first, and the 3-0. And it's in there. Smeltzer, feet close together. You can't get any further to the third base side of the pitching slab as he has both feet on that rubber starting into his delivery. Now the 3-1. Lindor takes ball 4. It's high. And that's the first walk issued by Devin Smeltzer in his really young major league career. Here's Oscar Mercado, right-handed batter. He's in left field tonight. In the minor leagues this year, this young man was at Pensacola and Rochester. And in the minor leagues, he was 3-2 with a spectacular ERA of 1.15. Mercado, right-handed batter. The set by Smeltzer. Shift on the left side of the infield. Throw to first, and he crossed up Gonzalez. Gonzalez didn't catch it. Took it off his body. He got picked off, not Lindor. Lindor may be checking if that was a balk move, which may have been why it surprised Gonzalez, who initially wasn't even looking for the throw. Frankie Lindor took off his batting helmet, offered it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez didn't think it was funny. Here's the pitch. Frankie started to go and stopped. And it's in there, curveball strike. Lindor now offering the batting helmet again, rubbing the arm of Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez, of course, helped eliminate the Indians in the playoffs last year with Houston. Now the set, now the look over, and the pitch. A swing and a miss. Boy, Mercado had a funky-looking swing at the curveball. 0-2. Eddie Rosario is in left, Byron Buxton in center, Max Kepler in right. The bruised Marwin Gonzalez at first, Jonathan Scope at second, Jorge Polanco at short, Miguel Sano back healthy at third, and the catcher Mitch Garver. The 2-strike pitch, up high, 1-2. Boy, Smeltzer doing something a lot of guys are starting to do with that front foot. When he's in a set position, he's kind of bouncing it up and down on the mound. That's okay, but you have to do it the same every time. You can't bounce it up once, one time, 3-4 times the next time. Then you're deceiving the hitter and the base runner. Mercado scuffling a little bit, 1 for his last 12, batting average at .278 with a homer, 4 RBIs. Smeltzer a look over. The pitch. Swung on, bounced to third. Miguel Sano backhands, goes to second, 1. No chance. Scope's relay not nearly in time. Ball wasn't hit hard, so Mercado with a fielder's choice is on at first as Lindor is forced out at second. 1 down. A pleasant 73 degrees here at Game Time, and that Game Time temp brought to you by Perfect Power Wash. Perfect results guaranteed. Visit perfectpowerwash.com to request your quote today. Here's Carlos Santana, batting .286, 11 homers, 37 RBIs. Switch hitter, batting right-handed. No shift on the infield, but almost. Here's the set and the pitch, and it's a curveball strike. Second baseman Scope in back of the bag at second, but still just to the right side of the infield, but barely. outfielders are deep, and they're playing Santana the other way toward the right. No score, first inning, 1 out, 1 on. Pretty good lead for Mercado. Much better lead than Lindor had. The set by Smeltzer, the pitch, and a check on a pitch up high, and the count 1-1. Now, this young man is some kind of story about Devin Smeltzer, who at age 9 had a grapefruit-sized malignant mass against his bladder in his abdomen. Now the set. Now the 1-1. Curve down and in, 2-1. For 3 years, he fought that in and out of the hospital over in the Philadelphia area. Chemotherapy, radiation. All of this at age 9 for the next 3 years he had to battle it. He's overcome it. And quite an inspiration. The pitch, and it dips a little bit low. A changeup, 3-1 the count. I mean, you're a young boy at age 9, and your mom and dad are just hoping they're not going to lose their son. Last thing in the world they could have ever prayed for was have their son be a major league pitcher someday, but here he is. Pretty good lead again. The pitch, a swing and a ground ball single between third and short into left field. So Santana has the Indians' first hit with a single to left. Mercado stops at second, 1 down for Jordan Luplow. And Luplow's in there for one big reason. The left-hander's on the mound. Luplow is hitting 139 points better against left-handed pitching than righties. 306 against lefties, 167 against right-handers. All 7 of his home runs against southpaws. And a shift is employed. 3 on the left side of the infield. The outfielders, again, fairly deep the other way toward right. Smeltzer is ready. And the pitch, down and in, a ball. When Smeltzer was going through all of his treatments, the chemotherapy, the radiation, he could barely eat. And, of course, any of you that have dealt with cancer, be it yourself, family, friends, you know all about chemotherapy and radiation and what that does. The 1-0, check swing, did he go? Pitch was low, he didn't go. 2-0. He basically lived off protein shakes and random binges and occasionally a soft pretzel because he had such a craving for salt. But he's survived and healthy now, and he feels like he's been put out here for a greater purpose. Now the set. Now the 2-0. Swing and a foul back, 2-1. Devin Smeltzer said, look, everybody in life has a purpose, and God gave me the ability to pitch at this level, and now it's up to me to reach out to more people and try to really make a difference in people's lives, not just by pitching. No score, first inning. Indians at first and second, 1 out. Now the 2-1. Swung on, popped him up. Infield fly rule. This ball is popped up near the pitcher's mound and caught by the third baseman, Sano. And that is out number 2 as Luplow is retired. 2 down. And that'll bring up Jose Ramirez. Now, the good news for Ramirez, he's been a much better hitter when he faces left-handed pitching than when he faces righties. He hasn't tried to do too much when facing left-handed pitching. Ramirez is batting .273 when he bats right-handed, 176 when he bats left-handed. So he bats right-handed now. 2 down, no score. Indians at first and second in the first. And again, 3 infielders between second and third. Outfield, medium, deep, straight away. The pitch, and it's down and in. Missed with a breaking ball for ball 1. Devin Smeltzer. He's ready. He checks the runners. The pitch. Down and in. Ball 2. Smeltzer, after he was cured of cancer by the time he was 12, then was like every other healthy young boy, and eventually he was drafted out of high school in the 33rd round by San Diego, but instead went to college. Went to Florida Gulf Coast, same college that produced Chris Sale. Now the set, the 2-0, a swing and a miss, 2-1. So he went to Florida Gulf Coast for a year, but then he transferred to a junior college in Texas. Then was going to go to Texas Tech his junior year of college, got drafted again and signed with the Dodgers, 5th round pick. Now the 2-1, swung on line drive center field, but right there is Buxton, reaches above his head to catch that liner. And while Smeltzer had a...
Staying connected. WTAM.com.
Well, the Indians, Shane Bieber out there to face one of the most dynamic hitters in the game this year, Eddie Rosario. He was batting last inning when inexplicably Jorge Polanco tried to steal second and was easily thrown out. No score. The wind in the pitch and a curveball swung on and missed for strike 1. Rosario will give you his numbers again, and they're eye-popping. 17 homers, 49 RBIs, both second in the American League. The pitch, a swing and a pop foul, back and out of play, and it's quickly 0-2. Eddie Rosario had a game last year against the Indians. Last June, hit 3 home runs against the Tribe in one ball game up in the Twin Cities. Now the pitch from Bieber, and it's swung on, bounced to the first baseman. Santana will make the play himself to retire Rosario, 1 down. Here's a guy that really has come on in a big way. The Twins obviously did some great things in the offseason to complement this young roster, but they've also had some big-time surprises by certain people, and one of those surprises has been turned in by this guy, catcher Mitch Garver. I think anyone ever envisioned him having the kind of start that he has had. Garver is hitting .325, 9 homers, 20 RBIs. Right-handed hitting catcher puts one in the upper deck behind home plate for strike 1. Garver is a guy that was forced in to full-time catching duties a year ago when Jason Castro got hurt. Now Jason Castro can't get his job back. The 0-1, and it's a little bit low, 1-1. Garver was a 9th round pick 6 Junes ago out of the University of New Mexico. He played there for 4 years. No score, second inning. Garver looks at a strike. For those of you that want a little more adventure, check out the Toyota RAV4 safety features. 2-year no-cost maintenance, all standard. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. Now the wind by Bieber, the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, chased the breaking ball. Bieber gets Garver. Boy, Bieber looks sharp tonight. Has struck out 3. 2 down in the second, no score. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. He's been playing everywhere. He played third when we saw the Twins to open the year. Remember, in March, the Indians and Twins were playing. Started the season in the Twin Cities. Minnesota took 2 out of 3, and Marwin Gonzalez was playing third base because Miguel Sano had lacerated his heel. Sano is finally healthy and on deck. 2 outs, nobody on, no score, second inning. The wind by Bieber and the pitch to Gonzalez, batting left-handed, is outside a ball. Boy, Gonzalez torched the Indians last year. 5 RBIs in the division series. Batted .538 in Houston's sweep of the Tribe. Now the 1-0. Swung on, bounced foul. First base side, 1-1. Well, hope you'll be with us tomorrow night. Mike Clevenger's bobblehead giveaway when the Indians and Twins play at 7:10. Tickets available at Indians.com or use the ballpark app. Mike is going to be pitching for the Columbus Clippers. His rehab assignment will start on Thursday. Now the windup and the 1-1. Swung on, hammered deep right center field, and guess what? The Twins are at it again, leading 1-0. Marwin Gonzalez hits his 7th. And the Minnesota Twins, who may shatter a Major League single-season record for home runs, now have hit 110. Gonzalez has hit his 7th. The Minnesota Twins, with 110 home runs, that is 49 more than the Indians have hit. So Minnesota with a 1-0 lead, and Shane Bieber, who gave up 13 home runs all of last season, has given up his 14th. 1-0, here's Miguel Sano. They've done all this damage this year without Sano. He takes down low, ball 1. Sano missed the first 41 games when he lacerated that right heel. But since coming back, he's played well, hitting .260, 5 homers, 11 ribbies, hitting 7th the pitch, low, 2-0. I mean, the last few years when he was playing, Sano was in the middle of the lineup. Minnesota's so deep now, Sano hits 7th. 2 outs, nobody on, 1-0 Minnesota. Shift to the left side of the infield. Sano watches it bounce in, and the count goes to 3-0. Minnesota has hit 42 more home runs than they have allowed. And they hit no matter where they play. Now the 3-0, swing and a foul back the other green light and a good rip, 3-1. Minnesota is the best team in baseball on the road. They're 21-9 on the road. It's because of their offense. They average 7 runs a game on the road. That's 2 better than they average at home. Payoff, bounces in there and he walked him. So Bieber's walked his first. Sano heads to first. Minnesota bats 40 points better on the road than at home. They've hit 22 more home runs on the road than at home. They average 2 runs a game more on the road than they do at home. And it's not like they're struggling at home, but they're an even larger behemoth on the road than they are at Target Field. 1-0 Twins. Sano at first, 2 down in the second. Here's Jonathan Schoop. Takes low and away, ball 1. This guy was a complete bust when Milwaukee acquired him from Baltimore last summer. Twins signed him this offseason, and bingo, he's back to being Jonathan Schoop, who was an all-star when he was in his heyday with Baltimore. He's back playing that way again. Right-handed hitter, the pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. Schoop batting .260, 11 homers, 31 RBIs, and he's hitting 8th. Light breeze blowing out, not really a factor. 73 degrees, it's cloudy. Twins lead 1-0, second inning. The pitch. Bullseye, 1-2. Schoop, one of the additions. Boy, you could make an argument Joe Mauer has helped this team more in retirement than he had been playing the last few years. And not to take shots at Joe Mauer, don't mean it that way, but his contract was just killing them. And now he's retired. The pitch. Swung on line to left. Down the line it goes. Schoop delivers again. 1 hop up against the wall. Sano will be stopped at third. Schoop is in with a double. His 14th. Joe Mauer was making $23 million a year. He retired at the end of last season. His contract was up. Obviously, he wasn't going to get that kind of money again. And he elected to retire And the Indians know what that's all about when you've got a big-time contract like that at the end of somebody's career who's not performing like that. But Mauer was an icon, so the Twins treated him like you should treat an icon. But, boy, I don't know if they were doing cartwheels, but they were probably silently cheering because Joe Mauer had not been the player he had been earlier in his career. Here's the pitch. Byron Buxton takes low. He wasn't hitting for power. He just wasn't a big-time factor. And out to the mound goes catcher Roberto Perez. 1-0. Twins lead. Runners second and third. 2 down in the second. So they take that $23 million. Everyone parts on great terms. And the Twins turn $23 million into Nelson Cruz, Jonathan Scope, and C.J. Cron. Now, C.J. Cron is getting tonight off, but he is having a big year with Minnesota. Another pickup that they were able to afford with the retirement of Mauer. Cron is batting .275, 13 homers, 38 RBIs. Here's the set and the pitch. A swing and a pop-up. Playable. Third base side, Jose Ramirez backpedaling into shallow left. And the Indians' third baseman retires Buxton. And a good job by Shane Bieber to minimize the damage.
Can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Yeah, the Indians trail in this game 1-0. And the inspirational Devin Smeltzer delivers to Jason Kipnis a first pitch strike. Drive down 1-0. Kipnis now trying to snap an 0-for-10 slide. The next pitch, Kipnis pushes it foul on the third base side. So the count 0-2. Kipnis batting .220, couple of homers, 13 RBIs, left on left. Now the wind and the pitch. Kipnis grounds one to first, dropping to Anías Gonzalez. He'll get up, go to the bag himself, and Kipnis is out number one. Here's catcher Roberto Perez, a 3-for-20 skid for Perez. Indians baseball brought to you by Everstream. It's Cleveland's business fiber network. Whether it's Ethernet, high-speed internet, dark fiber, or data storage, Everstream with a solution for all your data needs. For more info, go to everstream.net. 1-0 Twins, the left-hander's pitch, and it's a curveball strike. This became a good trade. Minnesota wasn't going anywhere last year. Brian Dozier was a free agent, so they shipped off Dozier to the Dodgers, and Smeltzer is one of the pieces they've got in return to show for Dozier. The next pitch fouled upstairs, 0-2. Smeltzer in his fourth pro season. Now the wind by Smeltzer and the pitch. And Perez bangs it on the ground sharply to third. Fielded on the glove side by Sano. He's more athletic than you would think for a man his size as he straightens and throws out Perez. 2 down. Now Jake Bauers, the Indians DH, batting .155 over the last 20 games. 2 down. Indians trailing 1-0 as they get their first ever look at Devin Smeltzer. The wind and the pitch, and he missed outside with a breaking ball for ball one. Smeltzer kicks and deals, and the pitch, and Bauers pops it up. Third base side foul near the Indians' dugout. Sano, the third baseman, has room and makes the catch. 8-pitch inning for Devin Smeltzer. Yeah, the Indians and the Twins go to the third. And the Minnesota Twins with the lead right now, 1-0. Ball fell out of the bleachers, and so Leonis Martin, the Indian center fielder, retrieves it, fires it back up there in center field. Top of the order, and Max Kepler struck out to start the game. Shane Bieber has struck out 3 and walked 1. Indians load up the right side of the infield with 3. And the pitch swung and grounded into that shift on the right side. The shortstop Lindor has it and throws out Kepler. 1 down. Talking about Cron, Cruz, and Scope. Now, the 3 of them together make a little more than Joe Mauer made last year. Mauer at $23 million a year ago. Here is Jorge Polanco, single to right, his first time up. The pitch, and it's downstairs, a ball. Tribe on the short end here, 1-0. Into the line, the next pitch, and it's down and in. Ball 2-2-0. But just the first 2 months of the year, those 3 guys in what they've done to replace Joe Mauer is incredible. The pitch, a swing and a liner up the middle, caught by Lindor, the Indian shortstop. Shading up the middle, took a hit away from Polanco, 2 down. The trio of C.J. Cron, Nelson Cruz, and Jonathan Scope have already combined for 31 home runs. Joe Mauer wouldn't hit 31 home runs in 5 years total. It just was not who he was. Nothing wrong with that. Just wasn't a power hitter. Good line drive doubles hitter. Here's Nelson Cruz taking on the outside corner. It's a called strike. Those 3 guys, here's the wind in 0-1. Check swing. Did he go on a breaking ball? He didn't. Close. 31 homers, 91 RBIs for that trio in 2 months, replacing Joe Mauer basically in his salary. The 1-1, down low, 2-1. So you never know, and everybody's got a game plan. They sign players, and they hope it works out. I mean, that easily exceeded the Twins' expectations. That pitch downstairs, 2-2. And we still have 4 months of baseball left for those guys to keep bludgeoning people. 1-0 Twins, 3rd inning. 2 outs, base is empty. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, pulled the string, full count. Go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special tab. Use the promo code TRIBE. It's a special offer. MyPillow.com, promo code TRIBE. The payoff, strike 3 called, locked him up with a fastball. So a 10-pitch inning for Shane.
On Twitter.
It's where it's at.
At WTAM 1100.
Well, it's the Liberty Ford Grand Slam giveaway inning. Tribe on the short end, 1-0. In the bottom of the 3rd, Leonis Martin. The number 9 hitter will lead it off, left on left, as Devin Smeltzer kicks and fires, and Martin takes the strike. Maria Rutana of Poland will win the brand new Ford Mustang convertible from Liberty Ford if the Indians hit a grand slam here in inning number 3. Now the wind in 0-1, a swing and a miss, 0-2. So again, good luck to Maria Rutana of Poland trying to win the Ford Mustang convertible. Sign up at libertyford.com. Shift to the right side, 3 infielders between first and second as Martin, a dead pull hitter, and he takes up high, 1-2 the count. Indians trying to get Martin to use the whole field as he's not a home run hitter, but hasn't worked so far. Now the windup, now the 1-2, and strike 3 called, locked them up on a curveball. 1 down. Top of the order now, and that'll bring up Francisco Lindor. The Indians switch hitting shortstop, walked his first time up. Indians trailing it 1-0, and we'll see now once they've seen this youngster one time, what the Indians are able to do in regards to adapting or making adjustments the second and third times through the order. No shift, but the infield certainly pulled to the left for Lindor, batting right-handed, and he looks at a backdoor curve for strike one. Smeltzer, who made that Major League debut against the Brewers Tuesday, kicks, fires, and the pitch banged foul through the third base coaching box, 0-2. He became the fourth Minnesota Twins starter to ever go 6 shutout innings or more in his debut. Just the fourth. Now the wind, now the pitch. Swing and a little dribbler foul. Third base side. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Get you station ID here in just a moment. Twins will probably look to fortify this club in the pitching department. Most teams do when they're playoff-type teams. The pitch swung on, hit pretty well to left. It's got a chance. It is gone to the bleachers. Francisco Lindor hits just his second home run this year, right-handed. A solo blast to the bleachers and left. And we have got ourselves a new ball game, tied at 1. And for about a month now, Francisco Lindor has looked like the player he's been since the day he got to the big leagues, and that is simply one of the very finest all-around players in the game. So we've got a 1-1 tie, and that's the first Major League home run and the first Major League run off Devin Smeltzer. Here's Oscar Mercado 0 for 1. The left-hander's pitch, and it backs him off the plate, down and in, ball 1. Oscar Mercado with 3 on the left side of the infield, digs in. Smeltzer's pitch, swung on, hit on 1 hop to short. Backhanded by Polanco, strong throw over, 2 down. Now Carlos Carrasco, he'll bat right-handed. He singled to left his first time up. 2 down, nobody on. Indians and Twins all tied at 1 run apiece. Now the pitch, and it's downstairs, ball 1. The next delivery, check swing, was it in there? Nope, low, and he didn't go. Well, the Indians know when they play this club, they're going to have to score some runs. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a high bounce at a third. Played on the short hop with a backhand by Sano. He'll throw over to end the inning. Twice already this year, Minnesota's hit 8 home runs in a game. They've got 1 tonight, but Frankie Lindor matched it. 3rd inning.
On WTAM 1100.
See? 1-1 ball game as we reach the 4th inning here at Progressive Field, and Eddie Rosario will lead things off. Facing Shane Bieber, Rosario bounced to first his first time up. Bieber into the wind, and the Tribe right-hander delivers a fastball low for ball 1. Rosario off to the tremendous first 2 months. Second in the American League in home runs and runs driven in. Here's Bieber's pitch to him, and it's down low, 2-0. And Rosario, career-wise against the Tribe, 70 games now, a .330 hitter with 15 home runs along the way. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Big rip, didn't get it. 2-1 the count on Rosario. Indians have the shift on for him. Jason Kipnis, the second baseman in shallow right. 3 on that left side of the infield. Outfield playing him to pull just slightly. The pitch to him. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball, shallow left. Out is the third baseman, Ramirez, and he makes the catch a good 20 feet into the outfield grass. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
News, talk, sports. This is WTAM 1100, Cleveland.
And WODC HD2 Asheville.
Home of the Indians.
Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton back at Progressive Field, downtown Cleveland. Stephanie Hagel, our on-site engineer here in the booth. And Brian Motze back at Command Center. 1-1 ball game. Tribe and Twins. Mitch Garver, the batter, struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch to him. And it's down low for a ball. Garver already with 9 home runs. He hit 7 a year ago as pretty much the primary catcher for Minnesota, played in more than 100 games. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that just misses low and outside. Garver, one of 2 players getting back in there for Minnesota after missing some time. He and Nelson Cruz reinstated from the injured list. Here's the 2-0. That's a breaking ball strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Garver missed 16 games with a high left ankle sprain. A couple of games on a rehab assignment for him before rejoining. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul. This one's off to the first base side of home plate. And it's now 2-2 on Mitch Garver. Part of a Twins offense that all season long has been tremendous, and lately even more so. They're averaging almost 8 runs a game in their last 17 games, so it's just about a 3-week stretch now. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, popped up on the infield, right near the mound. The catcher, Perez, down in front of home plate, makes the catch. And there's 2 down in the inning. Boy, that was not easy for Roberto Perez, but he made the play in fair territory. 2 up, 2 down. Marwin Gonzalez, the batter. Whether you're shipping from Cleveland or shipping through Cleveland, choose Global Transport. That's Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. He supplied the Twins run with his 7th home run of the season. A solo shot with 2 down in the second inning, as he continues to do damage against Indians pitching. Here's the pitch to him. Swung on, foul back for strike 1. Gonzalez now with 8 career home runs in 37 games against the Tribe. And they always seem to come at key times, or at least they did when he was with Houston. His career spent there until signing as a free agent with the Twins just as spring training was beginning. About as versatile as they come. Marwin Gonzalez can play just about anywhere, and he'll need to now. The 0-1. Strike called on the outside corner. It's 0-2 to Marwin Gonzalez. He played a lot of third base with Miguel Sano out earlier this year, but now first base, right field, left field, and shortstop. All spots he's played already this season. And we may see more as the season goes along. 1-1 ball game, the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball down low. 1-2 the count on Marwin Gonzalez. Shane Bieber has allowed the 1 run on 3 hits. Along the way, he has struck out 4 and walked 1. Now Bieber with the sign from Perez, the high leg kick on the 1-2. Just a bit outside, maybe a little bit low to Gonzalez, with Big Miguel Sano waiting on deck. We missed him the first time around. He was on the injured list with a laceration on his foot It took a long time to come around. But now he's back in the lineup, and boy, what a presence he gives that Twins lineup, as if they didn't have enough already. Now the 2-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Down low, ball 3, and the count runs full on the first baseman tonight for Minnesota, Marwin Gonzalez. Facing Shane Bieber, who got a win his last time out, but struggled in Boston as he was touched up for 6 runs, including 3 home runs against the Red Sox in his last start. But again, came away with the win. Made it through 5. The 3-2 pitch swung on, and that's looped to left. That'll get down for a base hit, maybe more. On it quickly now is the left fielder Mercado. On his way to second is Gonzalez. The throw, not in time. Safe at second base is Gonzalez, who never hesitated around first base. And it took a while for Mercado to get there. That ball in shallow left just died near the line. And Gonzalez was thinking double all the way, and he gets himself into scoring position. Double number 8 on the season for Marwin Gonzalez, who has now homered and doubled already tonight. And we're only in the 4th inning. Now Sano, who walked his first time up. Did not play with the Twins until May the 16th. But Sano, already in 13 games, 5 home runs, 11 runs driven in. Looks like he may have slimmed down a little bit. Right-handed hitter with tremendous power. Here's the pitch to him. Breaking ball down low for ball 1. 1-1 the score. Tribe and Twins, top half of the 4th inning. But Minnesota threatening with 2 away. Bieber, a little extra time as he looks in for the sign from Roberto Perez. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count on Miguel Sano. Miguel Sano, about as big as they come in the game of baseball. 6'4", listed at 272. Now 26 years of age. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to him. Swung on, ripped foul outside of third. And it's 1-2 on Sano. Jonathan Scope waits on deck, with Marwin Gonzalez out at second base in a 1-1 ball game here in the 4th. Very little breeze to speak of here tonight. 73 at game time. Cloudy skies. Now the 1-2. Fastball just missed outside. Bieber wanted that badly from home plate umpire Corey Blazer, and he did not miss by much. Wow. So now it's 2-2 on Sano. Looking into that shift, the Indians with 3 on the left side of the infield. Kipnis, the second baseman, just on the shortstop side of second. Here's the 2-2. Down low, ball 3. And now the count's full on Sano with 2 gone. Gonzalez after that 2-out double over there at first base. Well, a year ago, Sano limited to 71 games due to injury. Only 13 homers and 41 driven in. The Twins feel this is another player in the midst of a bounce-back season. The 3-2 swung on, ground ball to short. Backhand pickup. Lindor throws to first in time for the out, and the side.
Geraldo in Cleveland.
Am I a journalist?
Tomorrow morning from 9 to 10.
Or a celebrity?
On WTAM 1100.
Jordan Luplow leads things off for the Indians. Bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. Tribe and Twins. Opener of a 3-game series. Here's the pitch. And it's swung on, grounded, third base. Backhand pickup. Sano, long throw, right on the money. Well, he has made some fine plays already tonight at third base. Miguel Sano up to the task again. One pitch, one down, and Devin Smeltzer, the rookie lefty, has been economical here tonight, and that's what he does. He's not overpowering. He's not a big strikeout pitcher. The velocity on his fastball, we've seen 88, 89, but he changes speeds well. He'll get early contact. And now Jose Ramirez will give it a crack at it. Here's the pitch. And it's a strike called on the outside corner. Went off speed that time. Ramirez lined to center his first time up. Smeltzer into the wide. Here comes his 0-1. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball to right, but settling under it, Kepler, and he makes the catch for the second out in the inning. Time for the Cleveland Clinic. Caregivers shout out, and the good folks at the clinic would like to remind you that early registration is now open for Cleveland Clinic's 2019 Celebrate Sisterhood Multicultural Women's Health and Wellness Summit. It's on October 26th from 8:30 a.m. until 2:30. To learn more, go to clevelandclinic.org/Celebrate Sisterhood 2019. Here's Jason Kipnis. 2 outs, base is empty, and Kipnis takes a breaking ball up high for ball 1. Kipnis bounced to first his first time up. As Smeltzer is starting to get into that same groove that he was in his first time around. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball to left. Fairly deep, but settling under it. Rosario, and the left fielder makes the catch shy of the warning track.
Mornings and afternoons on WTAM 1100.
We head to the 5th here at Progressive Field. Tribe and Twins tied at 1. Shane Bieber and Devin Smeltzer hooked up in a good pitcher's duel. Bieber starts it off to Jonathan Scope with a pitch low and outside for ball 1. Scope doubled his first time up and put runners at second and third with 2 away in the second. Bieber worked out of it as Scope swings and misses, and the count's now 1-1. Jonathan Scope out of Curacao, and the town he's from, Willemstad, has had 12 players play in the major leagues from there, and there are 5 currently. The 1-1 strike call, and it's now 1-2 on Scope. Andrelton Simmons, Ozzie Albies, Kenley Jansen, and Jurickson Profar. Pretty good bunch right there. Hail from the same town, as there's a swing and a pop-up foul. And out of play, that's off to the left side behind the Twins dugout. Rocco Baldelli, the first-year manager for the Twins. And he's done some things a little bit differently, and it's hard to argue with the success rate. 40-18 coming in. The 1-2 swung on, ground ball to short. Lindor's there. Gloves, throws in time for the out. 1 away. Visit your Northern Ohio Buick and GMC dealers. They have exceptional offers on 2019 models. The number 9 hitter, Byron Buxton, will step in. Buxton popped to third his first time up. Hey, the 2019 Google MLB All-Star ballot is now open. You can help send your favorite Indians All-Stars to the game right here in Cleveland. New this year after the first round of voting. Little twist. Here's the pitch. Buxton chops it back to the mound. On it is Bieber, throws to first in time for the out. 2 up, 2 down. But they'll have that first round of voting, and then the top 3 players at each position advance to a special election to determine the All-Star starters. Vote daily at Indians.com/vote and on Google by searching for your favorite Tribe players or MLB Vote. Boy, Bieber really locked in now in a 1-1 game. Top of the lineup, Max Kepler steps in. He has struck out and bounced to short. 2 down, base is empty. Just the home run by Marwin Gonzalez, the only blemish on the record for Bieber. Here's the pitch, and it's on the outside corner for a strike. That's the key, Bieber. Boy, we've seen it a couple of times this season. When he gets locked in on those corners, look out. Here comes his 0-1. Breaking ball down low, 1-1. The best example was that shutout, the first of his career, against Baltimore back in mid-May with 15 strikeouts. Now Bieber's ready, and here comes his 1-1 pitch to Kepler. Swung on, yanked foul over to the Twins dugout on that first base side. And it's 1-2 on Max Kepler. Tribe 1, Twins 1. We are in the fifth. A run on 4 hits for Minnesota. 1 run, 2 hits for the Indians. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up foul and out of play. That's off to the upper deck on the third base side. Now Bieber with a deep breath and his 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Side retired, and we'll go ahead and make that our Ohio Cats strikeout of the game.
Is member FDIC. Cleveland's news, talk, and sports on WTAM 1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Roberto Perez leads it off for the Indians. Bottom of the fifth, takes a breaking ball from Devin Smeltzer for strike 1. Boy, Smeltzer matching Bieber pitch for pitch in terms of working the corners, changing speeds. A little less stuff-wise from Smeltzer, but good deception. The 0-1, outside and high, 1-1. Now Smeltzer into the windup. Here's his 1-1 to Perez, and it's low and in, 2-1. Perez bounced to third his first time up. Get you our Cleveland Indians memorable moment this half inning. Brought to you by the Nissan team, Bedford Nissan and Mentor Nissan. Take you back to that 1995 season. A lot of memorable moments there. The 2-1 outside, 3-1. And on this date in 1995, Jim Thome, he brought the Indians to within a run with a ground out. And that was followed by a walk-off 2-run home run from Paul Sorrento. The Indians beat the Blue Jays 9-8. Now the 3-1. Swung on, blasted foul. That's out of play into the upper deck on the right side. So 3-2 the count on Perez. Bottom third of the Tribe lineup in here against Smeltzer. Tall and slender. They list him at 6'3", only about a $185, and that's probably about right. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, popped up, and it's high in the air on the right side. Shallow right. Kepler comes in, makes the catch. And there's one down. The infielders were out there, but Kepler took charge. One away. Dominion Energy would like to remind you, whether you're an individual or contractor, state law requires that you call 811 before you dig. Have those underground utilities marked. It's simple and free. Dial 811 at least 2 business days prior to digging for your safety. Here's Jake Bowers. He popped out to the third baseman his first time up. Tribe 1, Twins 1. Bottom of the fifth. Smeltzer into the line. Here comes his pitch. And it's a breaking ball strike on the inside corner. You were with us earlier, Tom, mentioning the path to pro ball for Smeltzer, a couple of different schools. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, yanked foul, and that's out of play on the first base side. And one of those spots, a junior college in Texas, where he threw a complete game no-hitter, in which he struck out 16 batters. He threw 2 no-hitters in high school and 1 in a college summer league game. So he's had some low-hit games in his career, albeit at the amateur level, as he fires a breaking pitch down low for a ball. You know, his stuff has played well at the major league level so far, and albeit small sample size, 2 starts. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bowers chased a floater that broke toward the outer part of the plate, and he's a strikeout victim. That's the second recorded by Smeltzer. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Leonis Martin. Get you the injury report. It's presented by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. If an auto accident or medical malpractice caused you injury, give them a call at Elk, Ohio. It's been good news on the Mike Clevenger front. Thursday, he'll be in Columbus, starting his rehab assignment. Here's the pitch to Leonis Martin. He takes it down low for ball one. Dan Otero listed as day-to-day with that shoulder inflammation. Jeffrey Rodriguez, he'll be down for a bit, not throwing for a couple of weeks with a mild shoulder strain. Now the 1-0. Strike called. Fastball on the outside corner at 88, but in a perfect spot. Bradley Zimmer still out in Arizona. They were ready to send him to Columbus, but tweaked his throwing shoulder over the weekend, so they want to let that clear itself out before starting his rehab assignment with Columbus. The 1-1 swung on, chopped foul at home plate, and it's now 1-2 on Martin. And on the good news front, injury-wise, Tyler Naquin is back with the ball club, activated today from the 10-day injured list, and left calf strain behind him. 2 down, bases empty, bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 the score. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Down low, 2-2 the count on Leonis Martin. Trying to battle his way out of a tough stretch. And facing a left-hander who has had the good stuff going tonight. Devin Smeltzer. Here comes the 2-2. Did he go too far? No, he checked his swing on a pitch low and outside. And the count runs full, 3-2 on Martin. Smeltzer's in that spot in the rotation, vacated by Michael Pineda, who could be back the next turn through. The Twins say he's close. Payoff pitch coming. Here it is. Swung on, foul back, and out of play. So it remains 3-2 on Leonis Martin. He's in that number 9 spot in the lineup. I'd love to get on base for Francisco Lindor, who supplied the run for the Indians, the home run in the 3rd inning. That tied the game after Marwin Gonzalez had gone deep in the top half of the 2nd inning. Now the payoff pitch from Smeltzer. Fastball down low, ball 4. Martin draws the walk. Yeah, I always say leadoff walks can be killers for any pitcher, but sometimes a 2-out walk keeps an inning going. You give a hitter a chance like a Lindor, and that's what the Indians have right now. Lindor hit one to the bleachers. His last time up, he had walked back in the 1st inning, so getting some decent looks at Smeltzer. That was his 9th home run of the year, 2nd hit right-handed. Martin with the lead at first. Here's Smeltzer's throw to first, and Martin dives back in safely. I mentioned earlier, chances to vote for your All-Star Game players, and you can do so here in Cleveland later this week. Stop by the KeyBank location in Public Square Friday starting at 10. Great prizes and a chance to meet Shane Bieber. That's Friday at the KeyBank Public Square branch starting at 10 a.m. Your chance to vote for the All-Star Game. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball. It's hit to deep left, headed to the bleachers. Home run, Lindor! Lindor with a 2-home run game has put the Indians in front as they pull a page from the Twins playbook, playing the long ball game here tonight. Boy, almost a carbon copy of his first home run in the 3rd inning. Francisco Lindor, 3, and the Twins 1. Well, the Indians looking for a spark, and who better to provide that spark than Lindor? A lot of hitters in that lineup having a tough time figuring out Smeltzer, but Lindor has had his number tonight. And now Oscar Mercado steps in. Mercado's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch, and he swings, bounce one up the middle through the box, but on the shift, the second baseman Scope is there, and he throws on to first in time for the out, and the side is reached.
1-5 in the books. As for the Minnesota Twins, it'll be the number 2 hitter, Jorge Polanco, leading off the top of the 6th. Right-hander Shane Bieber delivers. Polanco batting left-handed, looks at a called strike. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you, along with Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Matze, Stephanie Hagel. It's turned into a delightful night here off the shores of Lake Erie. That pitch downstairs, a ball and a strike. 73 degrees. The flags are hanging limp. Polanco has lined out and singled, takes a strike on the outer edge. 1-2. Shane Bieber has been terrific again tonight. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. He has held this juggernaut to 1 run on 4 base hits. Twins coming in here, averaging 6 runs a game, best in baseball. The 1-2. Wow. A little bit low, evidently. 2-2. Meanwhile, Frankie Lindor's homered twice off the youngster Devin Smeltzer. And Smeltzer's made 2 mistakes, and Lindor's made him pay. Otherwise, Smeltzer's looked really good. But Lindor, 2 home runs to left, 1 with a man on, 1 with the bases empty. That's your Northern Ohio Ford Dealers game summary. Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now the 2-2, and it's low, full count. Now the payoff. Swung on, banged up the middle, knocked down by Bieber on the grass to the right of the mound, picks it and flips it underhand to get Polanco. 1 down. That'll bring up Nelson Cruz, has struck out twice. Right-hander against right-hander. Minnesota's won 3 in a row. Best record in baseball, 40-18. Now the wind and the pitch. Low a ball. Minnesota's never gotten to 40 wins as quickly as they have this year. Doesn't matter who they've been and when. Bieber, first base side of the rubber, dealing, and it's swung on, chopper to the second baseman. Chest high bounce handled by Kipnis, who throws out Cruz. 2 down. Thing about Minnesota, they've done most of their damage outside the division. That's one thing about the American League Central Division. There hasn't been a lot of play in the division by anybody. The Indians are 8-13 in the division. The Indians have only played 21 games. Of course, you play 76 times within the division. There's Eddie Rosario. He swings and hammers one deep right center. This baby is gone. Right over the 375 mark in right center. Eddie Rosario's 16th career home run off Tribe pitching. It's his team-high 18th home run here in 2019. And that ties him for the league lead with the Yankees, Gary Sanchez. They each have 18. And the Indians now lead it 3-2. So a 2-out solo homer to right center by Rosario, right over the 375 mark. Here's Mitch Garver, has struck out, popped up. Now the wind and pitch, and it's a breaking ball, down and away, ball 1. But Minnesota in the division has only played 14 times. They're 11-3 in the division. The pitch, swing and a miss on a breaker, 1-1. And, of course, the Indians and Twins have 16 meetings remaining, including tonight, with each other. And you had heard Terry Francona on the manager's interview say, look, he doesn't get caught up in that right now. The 1-1, swing and a miss, another good breaking ball, 1-2. Tito said if you sit here and go, well, we've got to sweep Minnesota to try to get back into this race, he said you're worrying about what you do Thursday night before you've done anything on Tuesday night, and then that's how you end up losing. Focus on today, worry about tomorrow and Thursday when they come. The 1-2, checked on a breaking ball low, 2-2. But needless to say, the Indians have got to start doing some head-to-head damage against Minnesota to try to get back into this race. Down 11.5 games here on June 4th. The 2-2. And it's a bit low. Bieber thought he might have had strike 3. Full count. Now the windup. Now the pitch. There's strike 3. Took a fastball right down the slot and never offered. Has pitched to beauty if he could just eliminate facing Frankie Lindor. 3-2 Tribe, bottom of the 6th. Carlos Santana batting right-handed. Floats one into shallow right. Kepler coming in, circling now and makes the catch. Santana 1 for 3 tonight. One thing about Devin Smeltzer, he has really been economical. The Indians swinging early and often in the count. Smeltzer had an 8-pitch second inning. He had a 5-pitch fourth inning. And now he's gotten one out with one pitch here in the 6th. 3-2 Indians. Jordan Luplow has popped up, grounded out. Lift with thousands of friendly qualified drivers. They know the city. They'll get you to and from the game worry-free. Lift, waiting to take you there. Now the wind and the pitch. Inside a breaking ball for ball 1. Indians continue to be tested. Talked about it with Tribe manager tonight. If you missed the Indians warm-up show, here's the 1-0 pitch and a curveball in, 2-0. Tito talking about how Jeffrey Rodriguez, he will not pick up a baseball for 2 to 3 weeks with a shoulder strain. So, boy, this Indians rotation just keeps getting banged up. Now the wind and 2-0. Inside 3-0. I mean, Jeffrey Rodriguez is here because of the injuries to Corey Kluber and to Mike Clevenger. And Kluber's a long way off. That right arm is still healing, the fractured arm. Mike Clevenger could be back on the next road trip. The pitch, way outside. So Smeltzer has walked 3 tonight. And the Indians have a runner on with 1 out here in the 6th. It's a 3-2 Tribe lead. Jose Ramirez, the batters, lined out to center, flied out to right. And here's Wes Johnson. What a story Wes Johnson is. He's in his first year as a Major League pitching coach, and he's helped guide the Minnesota Twins to the 4th lowest earned run average in the American League. He was the pitching coach at the University of Arkansas a year ago. He has been a dynamic pitching coach on the collegiate level, and last year he didn't have a Major League pitching staff at Arkansas, but it was darn close to it. Blaine Knight was a 3rd-round pick, their ace a year ago. This year, Arkansas's Isaiah Campbell went in the 2nd round. Wes Johnson had both of them, plus a plethora of other power arms. Arkansas has become a baseball factory here, the way they're producing major leaguers. And Wes Johnson, a big part of that, is their pitching coach, and now the Twins pitching coach. Jose Ramirez batting right-handed, shift to the left. Ramirez takes a curveball strike. That's quite a quantum leap as a college pitching coach to a major league pitching coach from one year to the next. But boy, has he done a great job. Twins have activity in their bullpen. 3-2 Tribe here in the sixth. The pitch. And it's swung on, grounded to third. Sano, second one. Scope turns two. Inning over. And that's another quick pitch inning. 7 pitching. Bieber pitching a beauty. The Indians with a 3-2 lead. 7th inning. And Marwin Gonzalez will lead it off. Solo homer to right center and a double to left. Switch hitter batting left-handed at first. Shane Bieber's pitch is swung on, a weak bouncer to first, right over the bag. Fielded by Santana near the line behind the bag. And he'll go to the bag himself. 1 pitch, 1 out for Shane Bieber. Here's Miguel Sano with a walk and a ground out. Rain is in the area, so it could be coming to downtown Cleveland here shortly. And this game is going. You just want to see it continue without interruption. Been a well-played game. Meanwhile, in Canada, Toronto leads New York 4-2. They've played 5 innings. Clint Frazier's hit his 11th homer for New York. The pitch, down low a ball. He is just having a dickens of a time defensively, but no issues when he steps into that batter's box. Now the wind and the 1-0. Down low, 2-0. Detroit has a 6-2 lead on Tampa in the 5th. Miguel Cabrera's finally hit a home run. 3 on the year. Boy, his power has just evaporated. The 2-0 swung on, fouled back, 2-1. Baltimore has a 5-1 lead in Texas, 3rd inning. Kansas City leads Boston 2-0 in the 2nd. Interleague game in our nation's capital, and Chicago with a 5-3 lead over Washington in the 4th. The pitch, a swing and a high foul down the right side, and they count 2-1. In the National League, Pittsburgh leading Atlanta 5-2 in the 4th inning. San Fran with a 2-0 lead over the Mets. They're in the 6th. Miami shutting out Milwaukee 4-0 in the 5th inning at Miller Park. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Went upstairs with a fastball, and Bieber gets Sano. 7 strikeouts for Shane Bieber. 2 down in the 7th. Cubs lead Colorado 3-0 in the 2nd. And here in Cleveland, it's the Tribe 3, the Twins 2. It's the 7th inning, 2 outs and nobody on for Jonathan Scope. 1-4-2 with a double. Now the wind and pitch. A swing by Scope and a weak fly ball to right. Drifting toward the line is Luplow to make the catch. That's another 7-pitch inning, this time by Shane Bieber. Boy, and is that big.
The Indians on now. Have me on tomorrow morning from 9 to 10.
On WTAM 1100.
And the Indians with a very precarious lead. The way Minnesota swings it. 3-2 Tribe. Bottom of the 7th, Jason Kipnis trying to snap an 0 for 12. Takes a breaking ball down and away. Ball 1 from Devin Smeltzer. Frankie Lindor's solo homer to left in the 3rd. His 2-run homer to left in the 5th. That's been the Indians' offense. Smeltzer's pitch. Kipnis checks. It's a little bit wide. 2-0. Oliver Perez throwing in the Indians' bullpen. Now the left-hander's pitch. And it's high, a fastball, 3-0. Now, the young man has certainly done a nice job for Minnesota. Doesn't really do anything that wows you. Now the 3-1. Swung on, hit in the air to center. Drifting back and toward right center is Byron Buxton onto the warning track, and the center fielder retires Kipnis. One down. That'll bring up Roberto Perez. He's grounded out, flied out. He's thrown almost as many curveballs as he has fastballs. Has kept the Indians off balance. Has kept the Twins in this game and giving them some length. Indians now look at a shift on the third base side of the infield, and Perez with a curveball dropping in for a strike. By the way, when we gave you that scoreboard update, it was brought to you by Ram Trucks. From towing to hauling, work or play, Ram will power you through it. The 0-1 swung on, hit high and deep to center. Buxton's back on the track, looking up, gone! Roberto Perez with a towering drive over the 19-foot wall in dead center. That is a long, long way to go. And climb the 19-foot wall in center as well. And the Indians have a big insurance run and now lead it 4-2 on Roberto Perez, his 8th home run. So all of the Indians' runs tonight coming via the long ball, and Perez has hit his 8th. And now with one out, here's Jake Bauers. Left on left, Bauers has fouled out, struck out. The pitch, and Bauers with a drive, deep right down the line, gone! Back-to-back jacks! A 2-iron by Bauers down the right field line. And the Indians now lead it 5-2. The question was, would it get above that 9-foot wall? It did, barely. And the Indians go back-to-back and now lead by a score of 5-2. The Indians have gone back-to-back now 2 different times. They did it on May 14th at Chicago. That was Jordan Luplow and Jose Ramirez. They had back-to-back solo homers and a 9-0 Tribe win on May 14th. And now manager Rocco Baldelli is going to make a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Couple of big home runs here in the 7th as the Indians have turned the tables on the Twins with a 4-homer run. Harper primarily throws fastballs in the upper 80s. He'll throw some curveballs, some sliders, a few changeups, and the first pitch misses, ball 1 to Leonys Martin. Martin, a left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher. 5-2 Indians as the Twins put 3 on the right side of the infield. Martin struck out and walked, and he waves at the off speed, and the count 1-1. Harper making his 25th appearance. He has a save, a 1.90 ERA. He's really done well despite not what you think of for a guy coming out of a bullpen late in games. Now the 1-1. Swung on, grounded into the shift on the right side. Polanco, the shortstop, throws out Martin. And that's out number 2. And now top of the order, and Frankie Lindor will bat left-handed for the first time tonight. That's been his strong suit. Frankie Lindor was batting 196 right-handed this year. He had 1 home run right-handed this year. But tonight, Francisco walked, hit a solo homer to left and a 2-run homer to left, all off Devin Smeltzer. And that's the story, along with now back-to-back jacks here in the 7th. The pitch, Lindor shows bunt, curve down and in, ball 1. The book is closed on Smeltzer in his second major league outing. He ends up going 6 1/3 innings. He gave up 5 runs. He only allowed 5 hits, but 4 of the 5 hits were home runs. He walked 3, struck out 2. Harper's pitch, swing and a foul tip into the glove, and they count 1-1. A lot of curveballs from Harper, who has pitched for the last 8 years on the minor league level. Age 30 and a major league rookie. Now the 1-1. Swung on, line to left field. It's getting down, base hit, and it gets by Rosario. He was going toward the line, couldn't cut it off, and Lindor has a double to go with his 2 homers and a walk. A line shot the other way. Boy, now you know Lindor's locked in. He pulls 2 home runs right-handed, then left-handed, just shoots one the other way. A double that was not down the line, but it was between the foul line and the left fielder. And Rosario couldn't cut it off. And now the light rain starts to fall. It's an official game. The Indians lead 5-2 here in the 7th. Oscar Mercado bats with 2 down. Mercado, 3 groundouts tonight. He's now 1 for his last 15. 5-2 Indians. Runner at second, 2 down. The set, the pitch, and a curveball hangs high, ball 1. Harper was a 37th round pick by Atlanta in 2011. Played for 4 years at Austin Peay. Now the 1-0, a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Light rain falling in downtown Cleveland. Very pleasant temp-wise, as it's 73 degrees. The Indians 5 runs, 6 hits. The Indians with 4 homers. The Twins 2 runs, 5 hits on a pair of home runs. Now the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another good curve. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right now, that's about all he's throwing. Smeltzer went 6 1/3. Harper trying to finish the 7th. Here it comes. Curveball got him swinging. But the Indians go back to... When you consider the quality of the opposition, this is the best outing of the year for Shane Bieber. Yeah, he threw a 5-hit complete game shutout against Baltimore, struck out 15. Here's the wind-up pitch to Byron Buxton. It's down and away, ball 1, but Baltimore doesn't even rate on the Richter scale when you're comparing them to the Twins. Here's the wind and the 1-0 in there, strike 1-1. Nothing against what Bieber did against Baltimore, but this Minnesota Twins team is mauling everybody, and he's held them to 2 solo homers tonight. The pitch, swung on, drill, deep right, down the line, twisting, foul. The Indians have the left-hander ready when needed. Oliver Perez has now been joined by right-hander Nick Whitgren in the Indians' pen. Bieber has struck out 7. He's walked 1. Now the wind, now the 1-2. Swung on, a bouncing ball in the hole at short, knocked down, recovered. Lindor's throw not nearly in time. Should be a base hit. You're not throwing out Buxton, even if you field it cleanly. Not the way he flies. They're charging Lindor with an error, and that's ridiculous. Even with a perfect backhanded pick, you'd have had to make an off-balance throw to first, and you're probably still not getting Buxton, who runs better than anybody in the game. That is going to be all for Shane Bieber. Terry Francona makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. That call will get changed as Oliver Perez will come in. Now the Indians turn it over to Oliver Perez with the Indians up 5-2 in the 8th. Since April 21st, Oliver Perez has an ERA of 1.54. He looks now like the guy we saw most of last year. Perez, fastball, slider. He enters with Buxton at first, nobody out, 8th inning. It's a 5-2 Cleveland lead. Top of the order, Max Kepler 0 for 3. So left on left, and a switch hitter is next, but you probably want Polanco batting right-handed against Perez rather than against Whitgren. Here's the set and the pitch, and it's in there, called strike. Then you'll have Whitgren ready if needed for Nelson Cruz.
And Oliver was saying earlier today that the biggest key is just not leaving pitches out over the plate, especially with 2 strikes. He's going more with the chase pitches and with good success.
Now the 0-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. Good breaking ball, 0-2. Buxton leads Minnesota with 10 steals, but hard to imagine he'd take a chance here with his club down. 5-2 in the 8th. Perez is ready. Shift on the right side. The pitch. Wow. Oh, a delayed strike 3 called. It looked like a strike. No signal from Corey Blazer, and then a delayed call, and that gets the ire of Max Kepler. Out number 1 on the strikeout. And now Jorge Polanco will bat right-handed. Polanco 1 for 3 with a single. Polanco has 9 home runs, but only 1 from this side of the plate. The left-hander, Oliver Perez, hands at the belt, checks first. The pitch, high with a fastball, ball 1. Minnesota with 111 home runs, the most in baseball, so they are never out of a ball game. 5-2 Cleveland, 8th inning. The pitch swung on, fouled, third base side off the screen, protecting the Indians' dugout, and the count 1-1. Power Home Solar is the official solar provider of the Cleveland Indians, building a movement. Visit powerhome.com or text solar 411-411. Checking on a pitch high is Polanco. Appeal at first, and no change in the call. 2-1 the count on Polanco. Polanco digs back in and waves at it, and the helmet flies off. 2-2. Polanco had a career year in 2017, then got busted for PEDs last year and had to sit out the first half of the season, 80 games. Perez comes set, and the 2-2. Swung on, fisted upstairs, foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. 15,814 looking on. Oliver Perez is ready. Checks first. The pitch, swing and a miss. Went upstairs, got him with a fastball. So Perez strikes out Polanco. He has struck out 2. Here's Nelson Cruz. We'll see what Terry Francona elects to do. He's got the right-hander, Nick Whitgren, ready if he wants to go righty-righty. But he is going to stick with Oliver Perez. That's how much faith he's got in the veteran. Now the set and the pitch, and it's in there, called strike. Cruz has never faced Whitgren. And against Oliver Perez, Nelson Cruz is 0 for 1. So basically, no track record against either guy. The pitch, curve, and a little bit low. It was close. 1-1. Runner at first, 2 down, 8th inning. 5-2 Indians. The light rain shower has stopped, and a breaking ball is in there. 1-2 the count on Cruz. Outfielders, tad toward right the other way. Medium to fairly deep. Ball has carried well tonight. 6 homers in the game, but 4 belong to the Indians. 5-2 Cleveland in the 8th. Now the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Elevated the fastball and punched him out. Perez with a fist to his glove. What a job he did again tonight. He strikes out the top 3 Twins hitters.
AM 1100 can now be heard on 106.9 FM.
Well, the Indians with a 5-2 lead on Minnesota. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Just the 4th meeting of the year. They meet 19 times. Twins took 2 out of 3 in Minneapolis that first weekend of the regular season back in March. And now we will see a lot of the Twins the last 4 months. Right-hander Tyler Duffy has come out of the Twins bullpen. Carlos Santana will bat left-handed. For the first time tonight, 1 for 3, a single, and first ball swinging. Punches one over the screen behind the plate, strike 1. Duffy, his 11th appearance, he's 1-0 with a 2.63 ERA, 22 punch-outs in 13 innings. Wow. The wind and the pitch. A swing and a little weak chopper to the first baseman. Gonzalez makes the play himself, 1 down. Tyler Naquin just off the disabled list today with Jeffrey Rodriguez going on it. Naquin had been out. And a little hip issue. And he'll bat for Jordan Luplow and then stay in the ball game and play in right field. Indians are going to have to make a move for the Yankees series because they'll have to get another starter here with Jeffrey Rodriguez out. Jeffrey Rodriguez won't pick up a baseball for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So well, the Indians just keep getting hit in the same spot, starting pitching. Now, Mike Clevenger is going to pitch for Columbus on Thursday, but he's probably going to have to make a couple of appearances. First pitch, breaking ball, strike. But Clevenger is feeling so good, it's just now a case of lengthening him out a little bit. But Terry Francona said they don't know exactly how many outings. Now the 0-1. A swing and a foul at the plate, 0-2. But it might be only a couple. And then you get Clevenger back and into this rotation. A little bit of light rain has started again, but hasn't really impacted the game or the fans for the most part. Danny Salazar still facing hitters out in Arizona. He's throwing about 93 miles an hour. That pitch bounces in 1-2, so he's still got a ways to go. Bradley Zimmer mentioned on the pregame show with Tito that shoulder barked a little bit, so they don't want him going to Columbus until they're ready to start the rehab clock. But he'll be going to Columbus soon. Now the 1-2. A swing and a miss, chased one in the dirt. Garver picks it up, steps in front of home plate in fair territory, throws to first to complete the strikeout of Naquin. 2 down. So the Indians, just when they're starting to get some healthy bodies back, more go. It's been that kind of a year. Meanwhile, for the Twins, seems like it's one of those years where everything they touch turns to gold, and you have those kind of seasons. And the key is take advantage of it with a deep October run. Here's Jose Ramirez, 0 for 3, taking a called strike. An 11.5 game lead for the Twins. Even if the Indians swept this series, the Twins would still have an 8.5 game lead. Now the 0-1 up high, 1-1, and that's what their great run has given them as quite a cushion. Should they hit a bumpy spell? Every team does, although some don't. 84 Tigers never did. The 95 Indians never did. That pitch swung on, grounded foul, first base side. And Ramirez with a 1-2 count. Red Sox never seemed to last year. I mean, you can go down the line. There have been great years. Be it Seattle in 01, Yankees in 98. Now the windup. Now the 1-2 pitch. And Ramirez swings and sends one high and deep to center. But Buxton drifting back has room. And we've got the 9th inning coming up. Cleveland.
TAM 1100.
One of the most dominant closers in baseball is coming on. Brad Hand, the Minneapolis native. He's from Chaska. That's a suburb of Minneapolis. 5-2 Indians. Brad Hand trying to stay perfect in save opportunities. He's 16 for 16. A record of 2-2, an ERA of 1.14. 35 strikeouts in 23 innings. Fastball, sinker, slider for Brad Hand. He'll face Eddie Rosario, the cleanup hitter, 1 for 3, solo homer to right center. The set and the pitch, and it's a slider down and away. Shane Bieber was brilliant again tonight. He went 7, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 7, walked 1. He gave up the 2 solo homers to right center to this man, Eddie Rosario, and to Marwin Gonzalez. The pitch swung on, fly ball foul down the left side, 1-1. And then Oliver Perez, who looks every bit as dominant now as he did a year ago, struck out the 3 batters he faced in the 8th inning. So the Indians with the lead by a score of 5-2. Hands pitch. Slider down and away. Not close enough to tempt Mr. Rosario, who now has 16 lifetime home runs against the Indians. Hand is ready. Here it comes. Swung on, popped him up. Third baseman Jose Ramirez, back end of the infield, makes the catch. 1 down. Here's Mitch Garver, 2 strikeouts and a foul out. Well, the Indians and the Yankees on Friday night, Sugardale Dollar Dogs and fireworks, thanks to Pepsi. Boy, you better get your tickets at Indians.com or use the ballpark app. Probably have some sellouts this weekend. Now the set by Hand and the pitch, and it's a little in, ball 1. Oh, actually it hit him. Wow. So Mitch Garver got nicked by the pitch. And he is going to head to first with 1 out. Here's Marwin Gonzalez batting right-handed. Marwin Gonzalez, solo homer to right center, a double and a ground out. KeyBank brings you the keys to the game, and KeyBank is the banking home of the Indians. Cover your financial bases with KeyBank. You know, the key tonight was Shane Bieber. I mean, this offense Minnesota has averages 7 runs a game on the road. He held them to 2. Another example that great pitching can stop great hitting. The set. The pitch. Bullseye. 0-1 the count. Gonzalez a year ago with Houston had 16 homers. Got a 2-year deal with the Twins right before spring training. Now the 0-1 pitch swung on, fouled it back 0-2. Marwin Gonzalez is the only player in the history of the game, the only player to play in 20 games or more at first, second, short, and left field in 1 year. And he did it 2 different years, including last year with Houston. That's why he was such a valuable pickup for this deep Twins club. The 0-2 swung on, double play ball, maybe. Hit to short, Lindor backs up, goes to second one, Kipnis relay. Got him! Double play, ball game! How about that? Dominant pitching tonight by Shane Bieber, Oliver Perez, and Brad Hand. And the Indians knock off this vaunted Minnesota Twins club by a final score of 5-2. And the Indians climb back to the 500 mark, winning game 1 in this 3-game series.